Welcome back to Dundell's Cyberspace, everyone. Today we're tackling a question that's probably on a lot of players' minds. What is the most efficient way to get precise reforges in Mabinogi? Joining us today to break it all down is Dr. Evelyn Reed. Dr. Reed, welcome to the show. Maybe we can start with a high-level overview for our listeners who are new to the reforging system. Explain it like I'm new to this.
Thanks for having me, Eric. It's great to be here. At its core, getting precise reforges efficiently boils down to understanding the various in-game methods available and optimizing your time spent on each. We're talking about a purely free-to-play approach, maximizing your reforges without spending real money. There's multiple sources, each with its own requirements and time investment, and the best method really depends on your playstyle and what else you're trying to accomplish in-game.
That's fascinating. Let's break that down a bit. What exactly are precise reforges and why are they so desirable?
Think of precise reforges as tools to enhance your equipment in Mabinogi. Each piece of equipment can have up to 3 lines of stats, like increased damage or skill effectiveness. Precise reforges allow you to re-roll those stats, aiming for the perfect combination to maximize your character's power. They're desirable because they can significantly boost your performance, especially at higher levels of gameplay.
Okay, that makes sense. So, what are these in-game methods you mentioned? Where can we actually find these elusive precise reforges?
There are several sources. You can get them from the FYNNI gems vendor, dungeon vouchers, commerce, and adventure seals. There's also Royal Society sponsorship badges. But honestly, I wouldn't recommend that route.
Wow, that's a lot of options. Let's dive into each one. You mentioned the FYNNI gems vendor. How does that work?
The FYNNI gems vendor, FYNNI, is located in Magmel. You can obtain 5 precise reforges a week from her. It costs 60 gold pine a week, so 300 total for all 5. The good news is that it's relatively easy to obtain gold pine once you set up for FYNNI farming daily.
Okay, so FYNNI farming daily sounds like something that needs a little unpacking. Can you elaborate? What exactly does that entail?
Absolutely. FYNNI farming leverages your homestead and pet blossoming. The most efficient method involves creating multiple characters, ideally 8, leveling their homesteads to level 6, obtaining the FYNNI blossom skill, crafting FYNNI homestead cages, and then collecting werewolf FYNNI gems from the Fiodan dungeon. You then blossom these gems on all characters to get FYNNI pet whistles, which you sell to FYNNIAD for gold pine. It's a bit of a setup process, but once you're rolling, it becomes a relatively passive income stream of both gold and gold pine.
That sounds involved, but also potentially rewarding. So what's the time investment like for setting up something like that?
The initial setup definitely takes time. Leveling homesteads, crafting cages, and completing the pet training questline on multiple characters can take a few days, maybe even a week or 2 depending on how much you play. However, once everything is set up, the daily routine of collecting FYNNI gems and selling whistles is relatively quick, maybe 30 minutes to an hour across all characters. And the payoff is significant, 1.2 million gold a day, plus the gold pine for those reforges.
Okay, that paints a much clearer picture. So FYNNI farming is a longer-term investment. What about these dungeon vouchers you mentioned?
Dungeon vouchers are another solid option. You can get 4 precise reforges a week from Evan in Dunbarton's town square, costing 20 vouchers per reforge, so 80 total needed per week. To access the voucher shop, talk to Evan and select About the Dungeon Guide. Then, Voucher Shop. The easiest way to get second vouchers is by running Shade of Curiosity, Beginner. You can get 5 to 7 vouchers per run, and you can obtain 100 vouchers a day. So that means 12 to 16 runs through Shade of Curiosity.
So, running Shade repeatedly, is that something people actually enjoy doing?
Well, enjoy might be a strong word, but it's definitely productive. Besides the vouchers, City is also excellent for echo stone farming. So you're essentially killing 2 birds with 1 stone. If you find it too tedious, you could also try the Aaron Martial Arts Tournament, which gives 4 to 6 third vouchers per run and lets you farm combo cards too.
Echo stone farming, combo cards. Mabinogi really has a lot of layers. Coming back to the vouchers, is there a best type of voucher to focus on?
It really depends on your needs. but focusing on second and third vouchers is generally recommended. You can obtain a total of 100 vouchers a day spanning the 4 types. If you can't get enough second vouchers, you can also use third vouchers for Precise Reforges.
Okay, so FYNNI gems for long-term passive income, dungeon vouchers for a more active approach. What about commerce? How does that fit into the reforging puzzle?
Commerce is a simpler method, but it requires a significant amount of ducats. You can obtain 3 Precise Reforges a week from any commerce trade imp. It costs 350,000 ducats per reforge, or 1.05 million ducats total per week.
And for someone who isn't familiar with the ins and outs of commerce, is it easy to earn that many ducats?
It can be, especially if you know the optimal routes in trade goods. There are guides available that detail the most efficient commerce strategies. Sailing tier potions to Cov is a very quick way to complete the commerce daily quest, taking only 1 to 5 minutes. It's a good option if you're short on time but still want to grab a few ducats and adventure seals.
Alright, that's good to know. And finally, there are adventure seals. How do those work?
You can obtain 5 Precise Reforges a week from the seals merchant in Dunbarton. It costs 40 adventure seals, or 200 total a week. You obtain around 66 adventure seals a day from completing various daily quests and tasks.
66 seals a day. What kind of tasks are we talking about? Are they time-consuming?
The tasks vary, but many of them are quite easy and quick to complete once you've done them a few times. They include things like gathering items, completing part-time jobs, delivering items to non-player characters, and defeating specific monsters. Some tasks might require prerequisite items like gathering tools or cooking ingredients, but overall, it's a fairly straightforward process.
And finally, I think you mentioned Journeyman Reforges. Can you briefly describe them?
Journeyman Reforges are another type of reforge introduced in 2023, and you can get up to 60 a day. They're obtained from running Elite Shadow missions, Advanced Dungeons, Hard Mode Dungeons, Coil, Pika Abyss, Lords, and Veteran Dungeons. The main use case would be to rank your gear without the cost of getting Blossoming Gems, spending the NX on Exquisite Reforges or your weekly Precise Reforges.
So, if I'm understanding correctly, if you were looking to just reforge a gear to maxing a R1 level 20 attribute, Precise Reforges will have the same effect and chance as the paid Exquisite Reforges, but as a free-to-play option.
Exactly. If you're aiming for those top-tier level 20 reforge stats, Precise Reforges are the way to go. They offer the same potential as the paid options, just requiring a bit more time and effort to acquire.
Dr. Evelyn Reed, this has been incredibly informative. Thank you so much for breaking down the world of free-to-play reforging for us.
Always happy to share some Mabinogi knowledge. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Eric Dundell, and this has been Dundell's Cyberspace. Until next time.